It's generative art combined with music. What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée here with 3Q, and their project is getting ready to launch. And so I definitely want to have them back on so they can showcase it to you guys. But what's poppin', guys?
Hey man, how are you, Cassius?
I'm doing great, and you know, this is actually a collective. You guys are a group, which I love to see: teamwork, collaborative efforts, and community in Web3. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what 3Q is all about?
For sure. So I'm Pat, the co-creator, and I run the community and marketing. And then I've collaborated with Joe, essentially, who's also the co-creator, who kind of came up with the initial concept for this whole idea. He's the 3D artist and visualizer. And then we've got 3 other members of the team at the moment. So we've got a guy called Yuri, who is our kind of head of tech. He's a Solidity developer. He's been in the NFT space doing generative projects since 2019. He's certainly what you might consider like an OG in the space. We've got a guy called Willie, who takes care of sort of the legal back end, also works on the kind of mathematical side of the permutations of all the different generative things that we're doing. And then a guy called Raj, who works with Joe, who cleans up Joe's mess. He might describe Raj a little bit better than I do. And then obviously the musician who we collaborated with on this Genesis series. So every series that we do, this being our first, we collaborate with a producer or a musician to create the music that we then take, Joe takes and visualizes to create these 3D floating EQ sculptures.
So for the people who didn't see, the last time I had Patrick on, we just gave a little preview of what it looks like. I know they've got a lot more advancements now. You guys have basically done all the artwork. You're getting ready for the drop, but it's generative art combined with music, right? You guys explain it in your words. Joe, how about you?
Take that, Pat. Yeah, so we build the visual side of it as a transparent video file, and we bake in the audio track that represents that particular instrument. So then when we come to layer it, it drags in the audio with it, so you end up with completely generative audio visual art.
Well, you know what? I think you guys can show us better than you can tell us. So let's go ahead and do a share screen.
So the way that Joe builds these cubes is like the music itself, and the cubes, like there's 6 different songs, if you will, or 15 seconds loops, and then there's 6 different cubes, and these things get increasingly complex. Rather than focusing on rarity, we're focusing on complexity. So this cube is the second cube in the series of 6. So this would be what's called complex. So within the track, so you've got a kick drum, kick and bass, hi-hat, percussion, melody, and then each of those faces is going to get rendered separately and then brought together in different combinations from the different cubes. So then now we're going on to the extreme cube. So this is the 4th out of 6 in terms of complexity.
This particular cube was an interesting one. So when we got into cube 3, the mushroom one, was when we started looking at the theming for these cubes. So I'd listen to the full track and think, well, what does this look like to me? How do I visualize these sounds, these noises, this music? And it was very much like this kind of fungal communication, mushrooms, like talking in the forest with that track. So I thought after that it'd be interesting, because it got me thinking maybe I'm the only one that's seeing that when I listen to this track, and am I going to look like we're mad here? Like, so we actually opened it up to the community for Cube 4.
That car looked tight. I could tell that car was dope.
Yeah.
So Joe, you made the art, Joe? That actually you drew that on 3 graphics?
Yeah, so that particular cube, I'm working with like 1 or 2 other guys that I use for help with modeling, just because the amount of work in this project is huge. So I'm half the time I'm doing the full cube or the full face, and half the time I'm art directing and having guys help me, just in like man hours, really.
Tell me the structure of the NFT drop.
The way that we've structured it was because this is sort of a hybrid of human and this kind of algorithmic, using the tech design to create these other ones. What Joe came up with as an idea was to auction off the cubes, or the composer cubes, so the ones that you've seen so far tonight, as they were built by the humans. So they got labeled like the composer edition. So there's 6 of those. In essence, that's how the music was created, the visuals were created. They come as these 6 cubes. This is the human design, and we're going to auction these off as 1-of-1 pieces. So we started those auctions off 4 weeks ago. The first one went for 0.221 ETH, the second for 0.26, and we had a big jump up on the mushroom cube that Joe was describing to 0.71. And last week, that cube we just showed you, the kind of Asian cityscape one, went for 0.78. We've got one more in the Composer Edition auction series going this Wednesday, so in a couple of days' time. That would be the 9th of March. runs for 24 hours. The auctions go directly through our website, so we didn't want to use OpenSea or any of these other marketplaces to run our auctions. So we had Yuri to kind of develop our own auction contract, which is running directly through our website, which has been a huge success. So we got one more on Wednesday, and then theoretically there would be one more Composer Edition cube, which we would auction. This is the ultimate cube. And
these are all on Ethereum blockchain, correct?
All on the Ethereum blockchain, yeah. So in order to get involved in the auctions or with the minting, you just need to go through like a Web3 enabled web browser, Chrome, wherever you've got your extension on, like MetaMask or whatever wallet you're using, or in your MetaMask app in your wallet, in your phone. And you can connect it directly through there and get involved. But yeah, theoretically there would be one more auction after this week, which would be the ultimate cube, so the most complex one. But we wanted that to be in amongst the generative mint. So all of these cubes now, as I kind of alluded to before, all the individual faces will get rendered individually. Then it's going to go into the algorithm and it's going to bake 3,333 completely randomized combinations of this, where the music will be unique and the way that the visuals are combined are also going to be unique. So everyone who buys one is going to have this completely unique artwork, both audio and visually. That drop is happening on the 23rd of March, so a couple of weeks on Wednesday. Those are selling at 0.1 ETH. So considering the
okay, so the starting price is 0.1 ETH for the main drop, and that is there like a whitelist people get on?
There is. It's filled up. It's filled up. It's filled up. Yeah.
It's already full. All right. See, you got to stay early, man. Okay.
I know you're on it already, so don't worry about that.
Where do people find you though? Where should they find you? Obviously, we got Twitter. What else though? Tell us the exact Twitter name everywhere.
So on Twitter, you'll find us at 3Q Collectibles. And to check out our website, where there's loads of more in-depth information about the project, is 3q.club. That's also where you'll do the minting directly through our own contract, or if you want to get involved in the auction on Wednesday. And also, if you go on our Twitter, there's a Linktree link in our bio. From there, you can get to the Discord group. There's also some more in-depth Medium articles, which kind of lay this out for anyone who's more of a kind of visual learner than they are listening to me blabber on and try to explain it as best I can.
Well, that's dope, man. And I want everybody to tap in with you guys. This is a great community. I met him on Twitter Spaces. My man Money B plugged me in one time. And so I think everybody should tap in with you guys. Make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe. Make sure you tap in, because I'm always bringing you the latest, greatest. These guys are doing something that's kind of revolutionary and trailblazing with Web3 space, mixing generative art with generative music at the exact same time. So I definitely think it's something worth taking a good look at. Thanks, Joe and Patrick. I appreciate you guys coming on. All right. You missed a good one if you wasn't there. Taking over the game, man. NFTs, all that. That's how we get it, man. Artists taking it back for ourselves.